Welcome to the Fighter Index, where every attribute matters. Today's matchup is Mario Bautista versus Vinicius Oliveira, who meet in the main event on UFC Fight Night in Las Vegas on February 7th. Mario Bautista is at his best when fights stay busy and layered. His volume striking isn't about power, it's about disruption. He throws in combination, mixes levels well, and uses feints to keep opponents from settling into clean entries. Offensively, he blends striking into grappling smoothly, especially in the clinch, where he can chain attempts and force extended exchanges. His pace creates decisions under pressure, and he's comfortable winning minutes rather than moments. Bautista can be controlled by fighters who don't react to his volume. His striking defense relies heavily on movement and activity, which leaves openings for clean counters if opponents stay composed. He also doesn't consistently impose positional dominance once the fight hits the mat. Scrambles favor him, but prolonged top control doesn't. Against fighters with strong structure and patience, his offense can look busy without being damaging. Vinicius Oliveira is dangerous when he can initiate. His striking is explosive and opportunistic, built around speed, forward pressure, and sudden entries. He's willing to take risks to create moments, especially early, and that aggression forces opponents to react instead of set their feet. When he dictates the pace, his confidence snowballs, and his offense looks unpredictable rather than reckless. That same aggression creates defensive liabilities. Oliveira's entries can be wide and linear, leaving him open to counters from composed strikers. His striking defense lags behind his offense, and when opponents disrupt his rhythm, his output drops noticeably. In grappling exchanges, he can be outpositioned by fighters who stay patient and prioritize control over scrambles. Bautista is 16-3 and has more octagon experience with a UFC record of 9-2, while Vinicius has more overall experience with a record of 23-3 and a UFC record of 4-0. Heights are the same, and Vinicius has a slight reach advantage. Both switch stances during the course of the fight. When you break this matchup down by the raw stats, you can see how they win their fights. Mario Bautista comes in with an 84.2% win rate and a 56.3% finish rate, showing a balanced, methodical approach. His biggest weapon is on the ground, with 37.5% of his wins coming by submission. Bautista is comfortable extending fights, going to decision 43.8% of the time, where his pace and control shine. Vinicius Oliveira brings a more aggressive profile. He owns an 88.5% win rate and finishes a massive 78.3% of his fights. The standout stat is his power. 69.6% of Oliveira's wins come by KO or TKO, and only 21.7% of his fights reach the judges. Now it's time to break these fighters down using the Fighter Index scale. We break down each phase of the fight and score each attribute to better understand the strengths and weaknesses of a fighter's game. Let's compare Mario Bautista and Vinicius Oliveira in fight IQ and athletic tools. Bautista shows high fight IQ, reading opponents and controlling pace. He scores an 8, while Oliveira comes in at a 6, relying more on raw talent than strategy. In athleticism, Oliveira has the edge with an 8, slightly ahead of Bautista's 7, showing speed and explosiveness. When it comes to stamina, Bautista's consistent pressure gives him an 8, edging out Oliveira's 7. Both fighters share strong resolve, scoring an 8, showing toughness and composure under pressure. Overall, Bautista's brain and conditioning pair with steady athletic tools, while Oliveira leans on natural explosiveness and grit. Pillar 2, striking and stand-up defense. On the feet, both Mario Bautista and Vinicius Oliveira score an 8 in striking, showing sharp attacks and effective combinations. In the clinch, Bautista has a slight edge with a 7, blending strikes into close-range control, while Oliveira sits at 6, a step behind in tight exchanges. When it comes to striking defense, Bautista again leads with a 7, slipping and countering effectively, compared to Oliveira's 6. Both fighters share a score of 7 for chin, able to absorb punishment and stay dangerous throughout the fight. Bautista's slight advantages in the clinch and defense give him the edge in close quarters, while Oliveira matches him on the feet and in durability. Pillar 3. Grappling and control. In this phase of the fight, Bautista has an edge in wrestling at 6, keeping the fight closer to where he wants it, while Oliveira sits at 5, showing less dominance in takedowns. Offensively, Bautista also scores a 6, slightly ahead of Oliveira's 5, landing some takedowns but without overwhelming control. In top control, Bautista earns a 7, holding position and working steadily, compared to Oliveira's 5, who struggles to maintain dominance once on top. Both show some skill in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, with Bautista at 7 and Oliveira at 6, capable of submissions but not necessarily forcing them consistently. Overall, Bautista is a step ahead on the ground, but neither fighter is elite in grappling. Expect scrambles and positional exchanges to be key. Pillar 4. Defense, scrambles, and ground survival. Bautista shows solid takedown defense, scoring a 7, keeping the fight standing when he wants, while Oliveira sits at 6, giving up slightly more opportunities to be brought down. On BJJ defense, Bautista again scores a 7, effectively defending submissions compared to Oliveira's 6. When it comes to fighting off his back, Bautista holds a 7, escaping and reversing positions more consistently, while Oliveira comes in at 5, struggling a bit when on the bottom. Both fighters are strong in scrambles, with Bautista at 7 and Oliveira at 7, showing quick reactions and adaptability when positions shift. Overall, Bautista has a slight edge in defense and survival, but Oliveira's scramble ability keeps him dangerous on the ground. On the fighter index, Mario Bautista checks in at 7.1, showing a well-rounded game in striking, grappling, and defense. Vinicius Oliveira sits at 6.3, bringing athleticism and toughness, but with some gaps in wrestling, control, and stand-up precision. These scores highlight exactly what to watch: Bautista's versatility and pace versus Oliveira's clinch strength and durability. A 7.1 versus 6.3 sets the stage for a fight where strategy, pressure, and who can impose their style first. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more fighter breakdowns and fighter index scores.